like any good mommy, she turned to check on her baby girl and got shot for it.
That grieving woman is Gracie Gonzalez. She moved away from Albuquerque and is now raising her granddaughter because her daughter, Kayla Montano, was shot and killed at a gas station. A group of teens shot at Montano's car thinking it belonged to somebody else.
Now, justice has been done. Her killers have been sentenced, but has any of that made our community any safer in the long run? I mean, what's happening to break the cycles of this senseless violence?
4 investigator Ryan Laughlin is giving us a new perspective into the missing pieces of our state's juvenile justice system.
He's, my little reminder,
Brandy Cedillo knows.
The holidays are hard.
Some will not be sympathetic toward her piece in this puzzle, or her son's, whose stocking hangs on the tree.
No, we called him Stev since he was a baby.
Stev will not be home for Christmas.
He didn't really get into trouble before this.
It's still hard for her to imagine what happened to the boy with that smile on his West Mesa school ID.
He called me the next day, freaking out, crying. Mom, I'm at the school, come pick me up. And picked him up, and he just laid in my arms like a little baby and just cried.
Did he tell you what had happened?
He was trying. He just, he was crying. He was crying.
15-year-old Estevan Lucero got word his girlfriend was in trouble. She was robbed while trying to buy marijuana at a park. Then at this Maverick gas station, she pointed out a black SUV that she thought belonged to her attackers. She was wrong.
I'm sorry that your kids have destroyed their lives, but they took my girl's life and they deserve to pay.
Kayla Montano was killed when Lucero and his friends shot at the SUV. Montano's 7-year-old in the back seat narrowly escaped.
Estevan Lucero is ruthless. He is cruel. He keeps stepping into the victim's car and shoots until that clip is completely gone.
What do you think about describing Estevan as ruthless?
They don't know him. They don't know him. They don't know what he's been through. They don't understand that he's had to protect himself in life. He's had to protect me.
The warning signs were there.
Started ditching, going to house parties, drinking, started with smoking weed, doing coke.
Just a generation earlier.
I grew up basically in a broken home.
Cedillo's parents divorced. Nasty custody battles had her looking for belonging.
At the age of 14, I decided I didn't want to live with either parent. I wanted to be by myself. I got pregnant with Estevan at 17, so I actually did stop using. I didn't use my whole pregnancy with him.
Sobriety didn't stick. Party drugs graduated to heroin and led to the things that people do to feed addiction.
I was so far gone.
Violence in the home and Lucero's locked up dad are all other pieces to the puzzle.
We're not dealing with the root cause, which is the home life, if they even have one.
4 Investigates reviewed close to 200 Bernalillo County Sheriff juvenile reports in 2023. This snapshot into an often unseen part of the puzzle shows 15% of calls had some sort of gun involved. And while the majority of troubled kids are 16 and 17, the youngest kid deputies dealt with was an 8-year-old at a daycare facility. And the 2 most common places for a 911 response was at school and the most inside people's homes.
That is a serious problem for me to hear, and the number I don't like, because we know that there is something going on within that household that takes a life of crime, and we will see the person who's 8 years old, we will see them again in a couple of years.
Is there any truth to the cycle analogy for this?
Absolutely.
Dr. Olivia Shadid with University of New Mexico Health.
That intergenerational trauma that If a kid doesn't learn how to cope, they grow up, become an adult or a caregiver themselves, then they're not going to know what tools are most helpful in supporting those kids in their own emotional pain.
The science is clear.
Early childhood trauma further dampens the development of that prefrontal cortex area on one hand, and it can heighten those other parts of the brain, like fear, like emotion. Trauma puts us in our brain and the rest of our nervous system in a fight or flight response.
The cycle can be stopped.
So the war room is our prayer room.
There is proof in the prayer room at Frontline Resurrection, a nonprofit run by women for women.
It's beautiful, it's amazing.
It's where Cedillo works with moms struggling with homelessness, incarceration, and addiction.
I feel like I've found my place in life, my calling.
Moms like her.
It's amazing. Like, I can't even describe the feeling that it is to see a mom reconnected back with her baby. Hey, can I answer this?
Sure.
Okay.
This is how Cedillo will hear from her now 17-year-old son this Christmas.
You want to tell your brother bye now?
Hold it.
Say bye, brother.
Hold it, Mom. Hold it.
Tell your brother bye now.
Bye, brother.
Tell him I love you.
Timed calls.
This call will be terminated in 1 minute.
From a New Mexico prison.
How do you feel about the sentence that you were given?
I don't feel good about it. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about it. I'm still, it's still trying to register in my head because I never thought that I would be in here anyway. It's hard because everyone thinks I'm just this bad person, but they don't know me, that they don't understand who I am.
I'm not going to stop thinking about it for the rest of my life, but I'm sorry. I didn't mean for anything to happen like this. I'm sorry.
Lucero will be a man in his 30s before he is eligible to get out of prison for killing Kayla Montano.
They're kids. We're the adults. We've created this mess.
Picking up the pieces to a puzzle still very broken. Ryan Laughlin, 4 Investigates.